Okay, so before we proceed with ionic radii untuk period 2 and 3, kita tengok dulu example satu kat sini ya. So the question asks you to arrange silicon, magnesium, sodium and aluminium ion in order of decreasing ionic radius. Explain. Okay, ada beza antara atomic radius dengan ionic radius. Kalau atomic maksudnya atom tu neutral, tidak ada charge. Kalau dia dah ada charge, kita akan panggil dia ionic radius. So the question asks you to arrange in decreasing radius. So maksudnya daripada besar ke kecil lah. So first you have to write down the electronic configuration for all the species. Okay, dalam exam nanti this one you akan dapat 100 lah. 100 pula, sorry. 1 markah. The electronic configuration. Lepas tu, kalau kita tengok daripada electronic configuration, kesemuanya adalah isoelectronic species di mana mereka mempunyai elektron yang sama tetapi proton je yang tak sama. Okay, so nak senang ingatlah. Kalau yang paling kecil, maksudnya proton number dia the highest. Kenapa? Sebab highest proton number, maksudnya ZeV dia besar. So bila ZeV dia besar, maksudnya electron attraction between electron and nucleus will be greater. Okay, so how do we explain? So this is the what we call that, the arrangement. Sodium paling besar, followed by magnesium, okay, followed by magnesium, followed by aluminium, followed by silicon. Okay, so how do we explain this? Because from sodium to, awak boleh cakap from sodium plus to silicon 4 plus, the proton number increase. Okay, so macam mana kita nak tahu proton number increase? Boleh refer dekat table relative atomic masses here. Okay, tapi kalau madam dah ingat. Okay, dan sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silikon ni dia berada dekat period yang sama. Okay, so first we said that the proton number increase. We know that when the proton number increase, effective nuclear charge also increase. Okay, when the effective nuclear charge increase, attraction between nucleus and valence electron stronger. So therefore ionic size become smaller. Okay, so that's how we answer the this problem. Apa yang bezanya dengan yang sebelumnya, this one, awak hanya perlu specific, perlu add on this word, this sentence, from where to where. Okay, bila kita nak jawab, awak kena lebih specific. Okay, madam tunjuk terus awak punya task. Mana task? Some of you dah try buat, which is good. Okay, which is good. Sepatutnya awak dah start buat, jangan tunggu last minute lah. Sebab tu madam tak bagi homework this week and last week. Because I want you to focus on this assignment. Okay, ada orang tanya, madam boleh tak nak jawab dalam point macam yang kita buat dalam tutorial? So the answer is yes, you can do that. Okay, so ingat, for those yang nak salin balik, for those yang nak salin this template, kena ikut sebiji-sebiji the template like this. Kena salin. Okay, kotak-kotak ni semua kena salin. If not, if you buat sendiri, I tak tahu nak cari point kat mana nanti. It's difficult for me. Okay, so please use the template as it is. Terpaksalah kalau yang perlu salin tu terpaksa salin bersama kotak-kotaknya sekali. Okay, ada banyak awak nak kena jawab ni soalan ni. So dah boleh belek, dah boleh tengok kat mana yang awak dah boleh jawab. Okay, jangan tunggu last minute. Okay, next we move on to the 7th situation. Rasanya, okay. Situasi ke-7. Kat sini. In which we are going to see ionic radius across period 2 and period 3. Okay, ionic radius. Okay, macam tadilah. Okay, from the graph we can see that kita boleh tengok apa? Kita boleh tengok bahawa cation, okay, cation lebih kecil berbanding anion. So, kita boleh buat konklusi dekat sini bahawa size of cation always smaller than size of anion. Kita dah discuss sebelum ini kan? Okay, so the reason is because, okay, kalau dia tak tanya, normally soalan tidak compare cation dengan anion. Biasanya dia akan suruh compare cation dengan cation or anion with anion. So kita tengok yang pertama. From sodium to silicon 4+, they are all isoelectronic species. Okay, they are all isoelectronic species. Proton number increase. Sebenarnya proton number increase, but number of electron are the same for each of the ion. Okay, so macam kenapa dikata proton number increase? Because from the graph here, proton number increase from 11, 12, 13, 14. So basically, this is the proton number for each of the species. Okay, so bila proton number increase, kita tahulah ZeV increase, causing the ionic radius to become smaller, ataupun kita boleh kata shrink, mengecut. Okay, bukan pengecut, mengecut. Okay, so this is the explanation for the graph lah, sebab kalau awak tengok size from sodium plus to silicon 4+ tu dia makin kecil. Okay, so kita tengok pula size untuk P3 minus to P3 minus here to Cl minus. Okay, so kalau daripada graph kita nampak juga dia semakin mengecil. So P3 minus to Cl minus, they are all isoelectronic species. Macam mana kita tahu? Cuba awak buat dia punya electronic configuration. So for isoelectronic species, proton number increase. Proton number increase from P3 minus to Cl minus. Sebab dia berada di period yang sama. Okay. And the number of electron are the same. Okay. ZeV increase. Okay. Kenapa ZeV increase? Sebab proton number increase. So, size become smaller. However, since anions has greater value of n, okay, so kita ambil satu example untuk cation, satu example untuk anion. So madam ambil sodium, satu lagi kita ambil chlorine. Okay, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So for chlorine, proton number dia 17. So kena tolak satu lah. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p. Bukan kena tolak satu, sorry, kena tambah satu lah. 3p6. So kalau kita tengok, okay, sepatutnya sebelum dia jadi ion, Sodium ni ada satu lagi orbit kan, 3s1. Why? Sebab dia ada 11 proton number. Chlorine got 17 proton number. So originally the shell is the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So means that sodium and chlorine is in the period 2. Tetapi sodium plus will lose one valence electron in order to achieve octet configuration. Same goes to chlorine. Cuma chlorine ni beza dia tidak hilangkan elektron, tetapi dia gain elektron. So maksudnya kalau kita tengok kat sini, sodium hilang satu orbit, chlorine maintain dia punya orbit. So that's why size of size of anion always larger compared to size of cation. Sebab bila dia jadi ion, shells tu untuk cation berubah, untuk anion maintain. So kalau kita, madam boleh lukis lah. For example, this is for sodium. Untuk chlorine ada 3 orbit. So obviously the size of the anion is bigger compared to cation. Okay, so that is what it meant by this sentence lah. So the principal quantum number for valence electron n equals to 3 untuk chlorine compared to cation n equals to 2. So the shielding effect for anion is greater. Kenapa? Sebab there are more inner electron. Okay, so what can we say? What can we conclude here is that the trend in ionic radius across period 3 is, kita akan start daripada sodium, kecil sikit, sodium plus, magnesium 2 plus, aluminium 3 plus, nanti madam besarkan ya, silicon 4 plus, followed by sorry, dia nak yang makin, kalau dia nak makin besar, sorry. Okay, across period 3. Sodium pun period 3 tau. Dia bukan period 2. Okay, dia period 3. Okay, kita akan start dari silikon lah yang paling kecil. Silicon 4 plus, aluminium 3 plus, Mg 2 plus, sodium plus, lepas tu Cl minus, S2 minus, and the biggest one should be P3 minus. Okay. So this is the trend of increasing ionic radius. Tapi soalan tak semestinya tanya increasing, dia boleh tanya decreasing. So that's why you kena apply all the important keyword such as shielding effect, and also effective nuclear charge. Okay, so now ionic radii across period 2 and period 3. Is there any question?
So far, no, madam.
So far, okay, ya? Okay. So let's proceed. Kita tengok contoh. Okay. According to the table, arrange and explain ionic radii for P, Q, and R. Compare the size. Okay, now normally memang trend kalau dekat matrik ni, atom yang dia bagi, kadang-kadang dia bagi bukan yang macam mana, dia tidak sebut exactly the real element, macam sodium, tak. Biasanya dia bagi unknown. Okay, in this case P, Q, and R. Okay, dia suruh explain. Arrange and explain according to increasing. Okay, increasing maksudnya dari kecil ke besar. Okey, ingat kalau besar maksudnya kita nak cari the lowest proton number lah. Okay, so first kita buat dulu dia punya electronic configuration for P. P got 9 proton number. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Ya kan? Sepatutnya 2p5. Tetapi because there's a negative charge over here, so the electronic configuration change into 2p6. So for Q, K11 proton number, but the atom lose one electron. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay, next R. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Sepatutnya 3s2, 3p1. But ion R here lose 3 electron. Okay, lose 3 electron. So we get rid of these 3 electron lah. So what we can say over here is that all of these are isoelectronic species. Isoelectronic species. Macam yang Madam bagi tahu lah, dia punya elektron sama tetapi proton number is not the same. Okay, now between P, Q and R, which one has smallest size? Antara P, Q and R, which one has the smallest size according to the proton number?
R.
R. Okay, R ke P?
R.
R. Okay, so kita jawab soalan dia lah. So the smallest one is R. Sorry, this one Madam kena letak charge dia. PQ. So the smallest is R3 plus. Okay, now followed by, kita akan tengok dia punya proton number. Followed by Q plus, last one P minus. Okay, don't forget the arrow. And tulislah increasing ionic size ataupun ionic radius. Boleh cakap lah mana-mana. Okay, so dalam exam, if you dapat arrange, dapat buat benda ni, so you akan dapat 2 markah tau. Okay, so I believe in the task also, there's a question like this. Dia suruh susun according to increasing or decreasing ionic size. Okay, B, dia suruh compare P dengan Q with their ion, explain. P and Q with their ion. Okay, now, Madam tunjuk contoh P ya. P, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 2p5. So, kalau P minus, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay, this is for the electronic configuration for P and P minus. The question asks you to compare the size. So obviously the period is the same. So we cannot use shielding effect. Apa yang kita boleh katakan adalah antara P dengan P minus is bigger lah. P minus is bigger than P. Sebab soalan suruh compare size. Okay. P minus is bigger than P. Kenapa? P minus is an anion. Okay. So, guna balik explanation hari tu. Yang bila kita compare anion dengan neutral atom. Okay, so this one, anion forms when atom accept electron. Okay, kita balik ke sini tadi. P minus accept 1 electron to form stable octet configuration. Okay, so maksudnya kat sini P minus has extra electron compared to P. Madam buat ni lah. Okay, before I forgot last time there's one of you asking me, boleh tak guna shielding effect? Okay, dekat sini. The answer is you cannot. Okay, hari tu Madam kata boleh. Okay, actually tak boleh. Kenapa? Sebab kalau kita tengok what we call this, the inner electron here, this is inner electron. This is the inner electron. The inner electron is the same. Okay, kalau shielding effect, kalau kita compare dua species lah, okay, dia punya number of shell tu tak sama. So kalau number of shell itu sama, so kita tak boleh nak gunakan shielding effect. Pada masa yang sama dekat sini, kita tak boleh nak gunakan ZeV. Why? Because the element is the same. Elemen P minus. So elemen tu elemen sama. Maksudnya proton number tu sama. So you cannot use ZeV kat sini. And also you cannot use nama apa? Shielding effect. So apa yang kita boleh cakap hanyalah kita boleh explain tentang repulsion. Why? Because P minus has extra electron compared to P minus. So repulsion between electron are greater in P minus. Okay, so bila repulsion greater, attraction between nucleus and valence electron weaker lah, sebab repulsion dia kuat, so size jadi lagi besar. So kita tak payah explain lah pasal size, sebab kita dah mention dekat sini P minus is bigger than P plus. Okay, that is how we answer this kind of question. So kalau awak tengok, everything Madam akan start dengan electronic configuration. Okay, everything we start with electronic configuration. Okay, ada soalan kat sini?
Madam,
No, ma'am.
Ya?
repulsion dengan shielding effect dah sama ke?
No, repulsion is not the same. Dia memanglah shielding effect also repulsion, but shielding effect is specific towards repulsion between inner and valence electron. Itu shielding effect. Okay, so dekat sini ini adalah repulsion antara elektron dengan elektron sahaja. Kalau shielding effect is the repulsion between inner and valence electron. So, kat sini kita tak boleh mention shielding effect sebab inner electron dia tu sama. Dua-dua. So tidak ada, maksudnya shielding effect is not dominant here lah. Boleh, Kesan? Okay. Welcome. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, kita dah edit. This one is the 7th situation. Next, let's have a look at the 8th situation. Okay, now we will look at the ionization energy. Okay, first, kita recap balik lah situation inside atom. So we know inside atom there's a nucleus and there's an electron moving around the nucleus. And ionization energy basically is energy required to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. Okay. So, apa itu ionization energy? Ionization energy is energy to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. Okay, for example, we have any atom X. So, bila dia remove elektron dia, so dia dah tak jadi atom, dia jadi X plus. So, and electron will be moved. Okay, this one you don't have to worry. Positif kat situ maksudnya energy is absorbed. Why? Sebab kita nak hilangkan, kita nak buang elektron tu. Okay. So, ionization energy maksudnya, for example lah kita ada elektron satu dekat sini, we are going to remove this electron. Okay, so ionization energy adalah tenaga energy for us to remove this electron. So macam mana kita nak remove elektron ini? Kita akan bawa dia jauh sampai ke n equals to infinity yang macam awak buat apa calculation hari tu. Okay, why? Because at n equals to infinity, there are no longer attraction between electron, valence electron and nucleus. So now your electron is free. So now ionization energy, Madam rasa semua orang macam pernah jumpa sebelum ni. Tetapi I believe that you guys tak pernah jumpa second ionization energy. Okay. Second ionization energy is the energy required to remove, lebih kurang je, to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous ion in energy required to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of sekejap ground state kalau tak silap Madam. Ini kita tak ni. Okay, sorry, in ground state, sorry. Okay, so second ionization energy maksudnya tenaga yang awak perlukan untuk remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous ion. So, tadi awak dah remove 1 electron kan? So, atom tadi daripada X jadi X plus. So, if you remove 1 more electron, so dia akan jadi X2 plus. Okay, so this is the second ionization energy. Okay, so when you remove more electron, so the charge of the ion will increase. Okay, so next, let's have a look at trends in ionization energy. So when electron is removed from neutral atom, okay, repulsion of electron akan makin berkurang lah. Okay, ingat kalau ionization energy, ionization energy adalah tenaga untuk buang elektron. So when you remove electron, repulsion berkuranglah sebab dah kurang elektron. Bila elektron berkurang, repulsion berkurang, attraction between nucleus and valence electron become stronger. So ionic radius akan berkurang, maksudnya jadi makin kecil. Okay, so ionization pula akan jadi tinggi. Kenapa? Sebab bila atom kecil, attraction kuat kan antara valence electron dengan nucleus. So when that's happen, harder for you to remove the electron. Okay, kita tengok lagi ya. So, factors affecting ionization energy. Ada 3. Yes, ada 3. The first factors affecting ionization energy adalah atomic radius. So, when atomic radius increase, valence electron of atom are far from the nucleus. So, kalau okay, when the atomic radius increase, valence electron sekarang jauh daripada nucleus compared to the smaller atom. Okay, so valence electron experience less attraction from nucleus. So when this happen, macam kita compare this one and this one. Okay, yang ketiga ni, atom yang ketiga, valence electron dia lagi jauh daripada nucleus. So less attraction towards the nucleus. So easy for you to remove the electron. So ionization energy decrease lah. Okay, so maksudnya ionization energy, madam guna simbol IE ya. Ionization energy for bigger atom is less than ionization energy for smaller atom. Okay, so I repeat balik. Ionization energy adalah tenaga untuk buang elektron. So if your atom is bigger, so easier for you to remove the electron. Kenapa? Sebab this electron is far from the nucleus. So bila jauh daripada nucleus, senang untuk awak buang elektron. Okay. Ionization energy bukan kita bukan buang elektron dekat dalam tau. Kita akan buang elektron yang paling luar dahulu, which is your valence electron. Okay, next kita tengok shielding effect. Okay, so when the number of shell increase, kita tahu shielding effect also increase. Bila shielding effect increase, outer electron is far away from the nucleus. So bila outer electron ataupun valence electron jauh daripada nucleus, easy for you to remove electron. Therefore, ionization energy smaller lah ataupun decrease. Sebab macam kes yang pertama tadi. Okay, kita tengok contoh. Let's say I have atom. This is 2 shell. This is 3 shell. Okay. This is the nucleus. Okay, if I have electron here, electron here. Okay, so kalau soalan tanya, which one has higher ionization energy? A ke B? So, Your answer adalah A lah. A has higher ionization energy. Kenapa? Sebab A has less shielding effect compared to B. Okay, this electron, okay, attraction between electron, valence electron and nucleus stronger. Attraction between electron and valence electron stronger. Kenapa stronger? Sebab dia punya shielding effect. Sorry, kita buat weaker shielding effect lah. So, bila attraction tu kuat, difficult to remove electron. So, bila susah untuk awak nak nak remove electron tu, so that's why the atom A has higher ionization energy. Okay, so that's the reason lah. So basically kalau atom tu kecil, so ionization energy dia tinggi. Okay, ionization energy dia tinggi. Okay, next factor is effective nuclear charge. Okay, so when SEF increase, kita tahu attraction akan jadi makin kuat. Okay, bila attraction kuat, difficult for you to remove electron. Therefore, ionization energy increase lah. Banyak tenaga awak perlukan untuk buang elektron kalau SEF dia besar. Okay, sekarang baru kita akan tengok contoh yang kejap dia nak tengok. Contoh soalan lah. Okay, first let's have a look at the graph. Kalau kita tengok, this is the graph across period 2 from lithium to neon. So basically this is the element in period 2. So kalau kita tengok kat sini, ionization energy makin lama makin bertambah. Okay, now kita relate balik dengan size. Ingat tak masa kita belajar size across period? Okay, across period, size, across period, size makin besar ke makin kecil? Kalau across period, size of atom kecil kan? So from big, dia jadi makin kecil. Okay, kita akan apply knowledge ni bila kita nak jawab soalan berkaitan ionization energy. Okay, so across period, effective nuclear charge bertambah ke berkurang?
Tambah.
Okay, kita tahulah sebab kenapa SEF dia increase across period. Kenapa SEF increase across period?
The proton number increase.
Okay, good. Because proton number increase. Jadi buat nota kat situ. Okay. Bila SEF increase, valence electron are held more tightly. Okay. Maksudnya dengan bahasa mudahnya lah, ini macam dipegang ketat-ketat by the nucleus, ataupun awak boleh cakap attraction between valence electron and nucleus stronger. You can use that word as well. Okay, so bila attraction antara valence dengan nucleus makin kuat, so you need more energy. more energy to remove electron. So that's why across period, ionization energy increase. Okay. So, kalau nak mudah lah kan, ingat tak across period hari tu, Madam cakap boleh guna PISAS ke ENSAS? Kalau across period hari tu. Kita explain size across period hari tu, kita guna PISAS ke ENSAS? Siapa ingat? Guys?
Pizza.
PISAS kan? Okey, kita guna PISAS. Sekejap. Kita guna PISAS. Okey, sebenarnya kalau nak explain ionization energy, sama je konsep dia. Guna je PISAS, cuma after size ni, S ni kan size, you tambah perkataan easy or difficult to remove electron. Okay, lepas tu yang terakhir, ionization energy increase or decrease. So maksudnya kalau nak explain berkaitan dengan ionization energy, awak boleh gunakan ayat yang sama seperti yang kita explain size of atoms across period ataupun down the group. Boleh je. Cuma kena tambah dua ayat. Okay. So easy or difficult to remove electron. Okay. Kalau easy maksudnya ionization energy berkurang lah. Kalau difficult, ionization energy awak increase. Okay. So that's for first ionization energy across period 2. However, ada dua anomalous case dekat sini ya. Anomalous tu maksudnya kes ganjil. So kalau kita tengok kes ganjilnya dekat beryllium dengan B, boron. Ya. So kalau kita tengok size of ionization energy memang bertambah kan, tapi ada dua anomalous case dekat situ. Okey, daripada beryllium to boron dengan nitrogen nitrogen to oxygen. Sorry, tak nampak. Okey, kena take note lah. So kenapa ada anomalous case? So first kita tengok dia punya electronic configuration dia dulu. So untuk beryllium, kita tak bagi kat situ. Kita cari kat sini, beryllium proton number dia 4. Boron proton number dia berapa? Boron 5. Okay. So we write down the electronic configuration first. Dia suruh orbital diagram tapi Madam tak buat orbital, Madam guna SPDF notation lah. 1s2, 2s2. Oh, sorry. Kita guna orbital diagram, sorry. So 1s2, 2s2, s2, 2s2. One S, 2S, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Ionization energy is an energy. Ionization energy adalah tenaga untuk kita buang valence elektron. Kita bukan buang elektron pertama tau. Tak. Kita bukan sesuka hati je buang elektron. Kita akan buang elektron yang terakhir. So kalau ikutkan untuk beryllium, this is the electron that we are going to remove. So untuk boron, this one. Okay. This is the electron that we are going to remove. So kalau kita tengok dekat sini, beryllium dia akan lose one electron from fully filled orbital. Okay, fully filled 2s orbital. Cuba tengok dekat beryllium tadi, this one. Kita buang elektron daripada 2s dan kalau awak tengok 2s tu penuh dengan elektron. So that's why kita panggil dia fully filled. So removing electron from completely filled orbital requires more energy. Okay, so kalau kita tengok boron lost electron from partially filled 2p or beta. Okay, boron lose electron from partially filled orbital. So this one, yang 2s ni, sorry. This one is fully filled. Okay, this one partially filled. Kenapa partially filled? Sebab diisi tidak penuh. Okay, kalau half filled, isi separuh. Kalau full filled, fully filled, isi penuh. So, boron lose one electron from partially filled to p orbital. Okay. Sekejap kejap. Sorry, lost connection. Ni tak ada. Sorry. Okay. So, electron into P disebabkan 2P tu partially filled. So, energi dia lagi kurang berbanding 2S sebab 2S tu fully filled orbital. So, kalau less energy, easier for you to remove the electron. So, that's why ionization energy for boron is less than ionization energy for beryllium. So, itu untuk anomalous case yang pertama. So, next kita tengok anomalous case yang kedua, iaitu oksigen dengan nitrogen. So, oksigen 8, nitrogen 7. So, orbital diagram 1s, 2l, 2p. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Untuk nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okey, cuba tengok kat situ. kita fokus dekat orbital 2p. Untuk oksigen, orbital 2p ni adalah partially filled. Okay, sebab dia ada 4 elektron dan tak isi penuh. So yang dekat nitrogen is half filled orbital. Okay, so antara half filled dengan partially filled, half filled is more stable. More stable. Okay, half-filled orbital is more stable compared to partially filled orbital. Solution dia, explanation dia. Half-filled orbital is more stable than partially filled 2p orbital. Kenapa? Because removing electron from half-filled 2p orbital require more energy than partially filled 2p orbital. Okay, so basically kalau oksigen dengan nitrogen, nitrogen lagi lagi tinggi lah ionization energy. Kenapa? Sebab elektron in 2p orbital untuk nitrogen adalah half filled. Half filled is more stable compared to partially filled 2p orbital. Okay, so that's the reason for anomalous case. So kena hati-hatilah. Tapi kalau soalan tanya, what is the trends in ionization energy across period tu? Your answer, ionization energy makin bertambah. Jangan cakap berkurang. Janganlah tengok pada anomalous case. Okay, so kalau kita ikut tengokkan graf ni, okay, ionization energy makin bertambah. Ingat kenapa? Sebab across period, proton number increase, self increase, attraction stronger, difficult to remove electron, so ionization energy increase. Itu reason dia lah. Okay, itu across period. Now let's have a look ionization energy down the group. Okay, so from the graph, this is the group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium, ruby ni. So this is the elements in the first group. Okay, so kalau kita tengok ionization energy makin berkurang. Okay, now relate balik dengan size. Okay, kita guna apa? NSAS kan? Tak nampak. Sikit. NSAS. Okay, kalau kita tahu size down the group dari besar dia jadi kecil. Okay, this is the atomic size down the group. So down the group, atomic radius kita tahu dikeris pula, maaf. Atomic size jadi besar. Tak bulat sangat. Okay, atomic size makin besar lah down the group. So this one atomic radius increase. So kita tahu down the group shielding effect increase. Kenapa shielding effect increase? Sebab number of shell increase. Okay, when shell increase, valence electron are far from the nucleus and less tightly held by nucleus. Dipegang kurang erat oleh nucleus. So that's why easier to remove less energy, sorry. Less energy is needed to remove the first electron. Okay, so kenapa? Sebab down the group, shell shell increase kan. When shell increase, shielding effect increase. Bila shielding effect increase, attraction weaker. Attraction between nucleus and valence electron weaker. So when that's happen, easy for you to remove electron. Bila senang, so tenaga pun kurang lah. So itu untuk down the group. Okay, sampai situ ada soalan? Sampai situ ada soalan? Kepening dah banyaknya, madam.
Madam,
Ya.
So far tak ada, madam.
boleh tengok balik yang second ionization energy and definition.
Second ionization energy. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Kenapa down?
Saya terlepas tadi.
Oh, terlepas. Okay.
Madam, boleh terang lagi tak second ionization energy?
Second ionization energy is the energy to remove the second valence electron. Itu bahasa mudah dia. Okay, so sekarang apa yang kita tengah buat adalah we explain ionization energy for the first ionization energy, maksudnya energy to remove the first valence electron. So if second ionization energy, so means that the energy to remove the second valence electron, which is kita belum discuss lagi, baru nak masuk.
Okay, madam.
So what we did so far is discuss the energy to remove the first electron across period and down the group. Okay, so that's what we did just now. So kat sini baru kita nak apply the second ionization energy. Okay, this is successive ionization energy. Okay, madam madam tengok. Okay, I think madam rasa madam akan habiskan successive lah. Okay, so now you know what? We can determine electronic configuration. We can determine electronic configuration using successive ionization energy. IE adalah ionization energy. Okay. Successive ionization energy always increase. Why? Because the electron is removed from lower. Sekejap tak muat ni kat sini. To inner shell, which is nearer to the nucleus. Okay, so madam lukis gambar sikit lah. Okay, let's say I explain for lithium. Lithium got 3 proton number, so means that it has 3 proton. Okay, this is the first one, two. Tak payahlah kita guna. Tak payahlah kita guna ni ya, kita guna orbital diagram lah, sorry. We use the orbital diagram lah. Okay, 1s, 2s. 2 electron in 1s, 1 electron in 2s orbital. Okay, so maksud first dalam kotak ni adalah first ionization energy. Okay, this one, second ionization energy. And this one is third ionization energy and so on. Okay, so basically the first ionization energy for lithium adalah dekat sini. Bila kita nak remove elektron, kita bukan remove elektron yang paling dekat dengan nukleus. No, we are going to remove electron which is far from the nucleus first, which is valence electron lah. Okay, so inilah elektron yang pertama yang kita akan buang. Okay, after that, this one. After that, barulah elektron yang terakhir. So itu maksud successive ionization energy. Ionization energy to remove all the electron. Okay, I repeat. Successive ionization energy. Successive tu maksudnya energy to remove all electron. Okay, kenapa? Sebab kita boleh tahulah tenaga of atom. Okay, when we remove all the electron. Okay, so kalau disebabkan lithium only, since lithium only has 3 electron, so successive ionization energy dia sampai yang ketiga sajalah. So kalau contoh oksigen got oksigen FON. Oksigen ada bukan 8 ke kalau oksigen. Okay, kalau tak silap minum 8 oksigen. Oksigen got 8. So maksudnya sepatutnya ada lagi satu yang ke-8 dekat situ. Okay, so itu maksud that is what it meant by this table lah. Okay, so now ionization energy, cuba tengok daripada first, makin lama dia makin bertambah. So cuba tengok oksigen. Originally the energy is 1314, then second ionization energy dia 3391, bertambah lagi 5301, bertambah sampailah 71300. Kenapa energy ionization energy ni bertambah? Sebab elektron yang awak buang tu makin lama makin dekat dengan nukleus. Okay, your electron getting nearer to the nucleus. So that's why harder for you, difficult for you to remove the electron. That's why the energy is increasing. Okay, so how do we determine the electronic configuration? Okay, kita tengok example 4. The values of successive ionization energy of element X are shown in the data below. Okay, first, dapat table macam ni. Okay, dia bagi 4 value of ionization energy. 4 values here means that you have 4 electron in the atom. 4 value ionization energy, maksudnya you have 4 electron. Each energy corresponds to 1 electron. Okay, first, determine group number for X in the periodic table. Determine group number, maksudnya dia nak tahu group mana lah. So nak tahu group mana, kena tahu electronic configuration. Nak tahu electronic configuration, kita kena tengok, kita cari dekat sini. Sekejap, solution dia kat belakang. Okay, kita akan cari which one has largest difference in energy. Okay, which one has largest difference in energy. Okay, sekarang ni sekejap ni tekan kalkulator, cuba tolak ionization second with ionization, the first ionization. Cuba tolak 3070, tolak okay 418. So Okay, madam ada bagi table kat belakang tu. So you should get 2652. Kita tolak Okay, next kita tolak 4600 minus 3070. So you should get 1530. Okay, last one. Kita tolak IE4 minus IE3 5860 minus 4600. So you should get 1260. Okay, so from the table, cuba cari which one has largest difference. In this case, obviously, IE1 to IE2 has highest difference in ionization energy. Okay, so dekat sini. So kita padam sekejap this one. So bila kita kira tadi, dekat sini paling tinggi dia punya difference in ionization energy. So means that here second electron is from inner shell. Okay, why we said this? Because there's a sudden increase in ionization energy from 1 to 2 sebab dia punya beza tu paling banyak. So, kita buat konklusi dekat sini bahawa means that kat sini kan tinggi kan dia punya value energy kan. So, means that your second electron is from inner shell. So, maksudnya this is your valence electron. Okay, so there are large increase in ionization energy from ionization 1 to the second ionization energy. So maksudnya the second electron is from the inner shell macam yang Madam cakap tadi lah. So kita dah cari difference, kita dah cari bigger difference. Explain your answer. Okay, now. So, kita akan buat dia punya electronic configuration. Tapi kat sini dia tak cakap. Sorry dekat soalan ni dia tak cakap period. Should be mention period sepatutnya. Sekejap Oh sorry dia bukan nak ni. Sorry. Dia hanya mahu apa namanya group kan. Sorry. Dia nak group. Okay. So kita tahulah kalau valence elektron 1, so maksudnya group dia group 1 lah. Sebab dia punya valence elektron is 1. So answer is group 1. Okay. Why? Because your valence electron only 1. Okay, next, write the electronic configuration for X. Okay, so memandangkan dia tidak ada mention N, dia tak mention pasal period, so kita tak tahulah dia dekat N equals to 3 ataupun N equals to 4. So kita buat sahaja general formula which is NS1. Okay. So NS1. Sebab kita tak tahu period dia dekat mana. Okay, soalan tidak mention. Okay, so I repeat balik, untuk successive ionization energy, okay, daripada data tu kita boleh cari how much is the valence electron. So macam mana kita nak cari? Kita tengok dekat mana ada difference dekat mana beza ionization energy tu tinggi. So maksudnya untuk kes inilah the second electron is from the inner shell. Okay, so maksudnya elektron sebelumnya tu daripada valence shell lah, which is your valence electron. Okay, kita try buat lagi. Okay, let's try another one. 5 successive ionization energy for atom M is determine electronic configuration for atom M, group number of M. 5 successive ionization energy. Okay, so let's do this. Cuba kita tengok. First, tolak. Okay, you have 5 successive ionization energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First thing you have to do is minus, tolak untuk cari which one has largest difference in ionization energy. Tapi sebenarnya bila awak tengok pun awak dah boleh kot. So kalau madam, this one. Okay, this one, these two. Kalau kita tengok 1150, yang ini 4940. So maksudnya the difference is about 3000 something. Let me double confirm. So 4940 yes, 3790. So should be this one. Okay, there's a sudden increase in ionization energy from IE2 to IE3. So maksudnya this one is valence electron, and this one is this one inner electron. These three. Inner electron. So kalau kita tengok electronic configuration, valence electron 2, so maksudnya dia berada dekat group 2 lah. Okay, sebab valence electron 2. So maksudnya group number dia adalah group 2. And the electronic configuration for valence electron. Okay, valence electron tadi 2 kan? Tapi kita tak tahu dia dekat dia dekat period mana. So kita letak N. Okay, kalau group 2 maksudnya dia dekat S block. So NS2. Tadi NS1 kan? Sekarang NS2. Yang ni pun sorry, patutlah ini valence. Sorry, dia nak di sini valence electronic configuration. Okay, so that's why kita tak buat yang 1s2 to s2 to p6 and so on tu, sebab soalan hanya nak valence electronic configuration. Okay, this one also. Okay, let's try do one more, I think. Okay, this one homework. Okay, cuba tengok example 7. Write the electronic configuration for element X, give the graph given in the graph below. Okay, so kalau kita kira bilangan titik tu dia ada 19 titik. Sorry. 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, there's a 19 titik which is corresponds to 19 electron. So, cuba awak tengok kat situ, ionization energy ni dia memang akan bertambah. Tetapi dekat sini, okay, dia punya pertambahan tu agak significant here also and also here. So maksudnya when there is sudden change in ionization energy, maksudnya elektron itu adalah elektron inner. Okay, so means that this is valence electron and this one, this is valence electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So means that this is the inner electron. This one also inner electron. Cuma dia lagi dekat dengan nucleus. Okay, so to write down dia punya electronic configuration, dia tak cakap kat mana. So maksudnya dia ada S2, OS2, OS6, E6, OS1. 10, 19. Okay. So this is the electronic configuration for X. Why? Cuba kita tallykan dengan graph. So here element X has one valence electron. So dekat sini. Okay. Lepas tu there's a sudden increase in ionization energy. Maksudnya your second valence electron adalah daripada inner shell, which is n equals to 3. Dekat sini, n equals to 3. Okay, so after that, kan ada 8 tu. After that, elektron yang ke 10, okay, adalah when n equals to 2. So this one is when n equals to 2. Okay, so 2 kat sini adalah elektron in 1s orbital. So dia paling tinggi dekat sini 2 elektron ni because it is closer to the nucleus. Okay, dia paling dekat dengan nucleus. So that's why the ionization energy untuk 2 tu paling tinggi. Okay, so I think that's all. Okay, I think that's all for today. Okay, madam akan stop sampai sini lah. So, banyak dah kita tengok hari ni. Sekejap ini. Okay, so for today, we have discuss variation of ionic radii across period 2 and period 3. Kita dah buat definition first and second ionization energy. Kita dah analyze variation in the first ionization energy across and down the group. Madam also dah explain the increase in successive ionization. Okay, kita also dah buat electronic configuration based on the successive ionization energy. Okay, so for Tuesday, we are going to continue with electronegativity and kita akan tengok acid base character of oxides untuk elemen dekat period 3. Okay, so for today's attendance, dekat chat tu. Okay, isi sekarang.
Madam,
Ya,
Boleh pergi first ionization energy across period to example 5.
Example 5, sekejap ni. But Madam stop the recording first Sekejap.
Oh, okay.
Nanti siang awak panjang pula dia punya coding.